we've just arrived at our apartment in Florence, which is lovely. On the top floor, plenty of space. Out each window there's some pretty amazing views. There's some dome out there, I'm not quite sure what that is. Had a bit of a stormy drive from the Cinque Terre and Pisa, so the kids are blobbing a little bit. It's a fairly old apartment block. Lots of stone everywhere, even in our apartment. The ceilings actually, you can see the underlay of stone or tiles. This is the door out onto the street. It's usually a bustling market, but it's been a bit of rain, so everything's covered up at the moment. This is what it looks like on a normal day. The market's right out there. Still setting up. And this is right next to our place. The Basilica di San Lorenzo.
And they have wood around them, and then we tap it to get the wood off.
No, it's not far at all from our apartment. So this cathedral was built in the 1200s. It's the most well recognised Florentine landmark. So, potentially a giant coffee bean. But not quite sure. Could be a Florentine biscuit. Maybe? A back massager. So the kids are testing out their sun umbrellas.
Yes, it is similar again.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say fish and all.
So this is the main river in Florence.
Oh, can I have the umbrella, please? Please.
Okay.
So Florence was considered the birthplace of the Renaissance. It's been a town for thousands of years, but the main town was built after the original town was destroyed by one of the Roman emperors because it supported some uprising in Rome. And then after that, Julius Caesar actually built the newer town for some of his troops who had retired. Now, a lot of the buildings were built during the time of the Medici family, who were basically ruling the town for a few hundred years. So that over there is Ponte Vecchio, which is pretty much the most historic bridge here. An interesting fact for us Kiwis, during World War II, when the Germans were retreating through here, it was the New Zealanders, South Africans and Australians who liberated the town. But as they were advancing, the Germans decided to blow up all the bridges, of course, over the river. There was an emissary here who managed to convince the Germans to not blow up Ponte Vecchio because of its historic significance. And he said, oh, why don't you instead just blow up some of the old buildings around the entrance to the bridge, so that way they still can't get to the bridge, but you're not destroying the bridge itself. So that's what they did. They ended up destroying a whole lot of buildings and blocking the road. So what are we thinking about the gelato here, guys? Good. What do you reckon, Debs? What's your
They
verdict?
got hazelnut and lemon.
Ooh, yum. Then got yogurt berry and something. Stracciatella. So this is the market hall just near our place. Let's see if we can find some food. Leonardo da Vinci Interactive Museum. He's off. That's right. It's a war machine, so you drive it up to the wall and then you lower it and your troops can run across the wall. That's the parachute he invented. Hey Debs, have a look at this, buddy. Devon's final product, an improvement on the Da Vinci one up there. So this is Italy. Even in the smallest supermarket in the world, they've got 50 different types of pasta.
Honey, I'm gonna eat some honey for breakfast.
So we're waiting outside the Lego store, and of course they're gonna have lots of Super Mario and Luigi stuff there. You reckon they'll do? Oh yeah. So we're back on tour again, since we've already done the city, now acting as a English-speaking tour guide for the hordes behind us. Oh, yum.
No, trying to get my tooth out? Hey!
Okay, do it. Do it. Pull your tooth out. Let's have a look, see how wiggly it is. Wow. A little orphan sitting there.
Obviously.
Lego.
And these are like the back. There's all the ingredients, and then it's got the recipe on the back.
That's cool. So we're part way up the hill, but we're hoping to head to the top so we can get a good view of Florence. Look at that beautiful Tuscan countryside. So, you wouldn't know it from the crowd, but this happens to be a popular spot for taking photos of over the city. Here you go. Well, kids have had enough of this waiting. Beautiful sunset on the clouds. What do you reckon of the sunset, Debs? Okay. Yeah.
He does something legendary when he starts with the first, but some of like the
gonna feel the bridge again?
Outside the Galileo Museum, which we haven't been into.
I'm gonna go walking on this.
Okay. Go.
This is Chinese.
I think it's Greek symbols. Alright, if in doubt, get your tooth out before you eat gelato. Show me. Yeah, another tooth lost on Breetventures. Some street art.
And this one, yeah, that one and
Pretty colour. Oh yeah, there's two.
this one, this guy.
They're packing up the market street. These boxes that they're dragging, they set them up every morning right outside our apartment, hundreds of them, selling leather goods, and they extend out to contain hundreds of leather bags and wallets and things like that. And then every night they pack them up and drag them away to these little garages all over the city and repeat 7 days a week, probably 364 days a year. So here's the famed bronze statue of the boar, and apparently it's good luck to rub some money on its snout and then put it in. Sounds like a great scheme. Might set one up outside my house. So this is the Pitti Palace, which is where the Medicis moved to after they moved from the Palazzo Vecchio. There's actually a overground walkway which goes from those yellow buildings there, and it goes all the way across the Ponte Vecchio, the bridge with all the jewellery stores on it, and to their old palace.
Yeah, it doesn't really go on.
How are you guys doing with your Powerade? Replacing those electrolytes? Just entered the Boboli Gardens. Got a little grotto here.
I'm looking at the fish. Yeah. So we have just came from the Fountain of Youth, which is more like a bath of youth. And now we are in the gardens. As you can see, there's some fruit. And now we are just walking around here, and there's heaps of lavender all along there. It's not lavender.
Yeah, I think it's lavender.
It is. A different kind, but yeah. The bees will love it.
Hold on a second. Sounds good.
And then,
Yeah.
what are we doing after this?
Well, we're going to walk up to some sort of fountain area. It's incredibly hot though, so I'm hoping we can walk through some shade in the trees.
Yeah.
So according to our sources, i.e. Anna, this is the most definitive example of a classic Italian garden.
Nice.
And that's the Fountain of the Snouts. How's it going on your rock? Marble.
Telling you something.
Yeah.
It's hot over here, but in the middle. Yeah, feel it.
So this is the back of the Pitti Palace, which of course opened up onto the gardens as it was part of the palace originally. And the amphitheatre, which is obviously one of the parts that they're actually watering to keep green. So they do love their giant baths here for some reason. Heading up to the Fountain of Neptune. So this is the Fountain of Neptune. Unfortunately, due to the extreme heat, pretty much all the fountains are turned off. We have ourselves a dead little lizard drying out on the stones. All the coins.
Dad,
You could probably pay off your phone with all those coins.
Dad,
Yeah?
look. I'd like some.
Wil je mee vliegen en zo te rennen?
A lovely Tuscan countryside again. A lot of olive groves, and poplar trees, and castles. Straight down these stairs.
You want to get down? I'm happy to get down.
What's that? It's a coffee house, which is closed. So this is one of the Medici grottos. Can't actually go inside, unfortunately. So we're exiting out through the Pitti Palace. We actually get a bit of a view from the inner courtyard. So we're just waiting for our tour at Palazzo Vecchio. It's a kids tour, so hopefully lots to do for these guys.
So how would people move? A long time ago. Walking? Normal people walked a lot. What about kids? Really going towards the sky with angels. I don't know if you go to church. Football. Are you quick? Are you good with the ball? You're quick. If we were to choose a symbol for him, usually an animal. This lady here, she represents peace. You see, she has wings and she's stepping on a sleepover. Let's go and take a look at the So, Leonardo, the queen, had 5 bedrooms and she would decide every night where she wished to sleep. So they come in. What? Yeah. It's called the hearing room or the audience room. So they would have meetings here. They would talk about war, about politics, alliances, and if you raised your head, you could enjoy a beautiful ceiling. I wanted to show you something. How do you make such a ceiling? To wood. It's called a rabbit glue. We won't find this ceiling.
The map room.
We have
As you know,
France,
some great love of
Germany,
maps.
England. We also have, where are we here? Where are we here? Bye-bye. Okay, I'm coming back in a moment. I need to open the door. I'll be back.
Ooh, the secret door.
Go down, watching where you go. So this means you went over a dress. Okay, it's just slightly long for you. I tell you, slightly long. Because the idea is you're supposed to be covering your skin. Ladies were supposed to show say to everybody, I am rich, I have servants, I'm never in a hurry. Even if I drop a handkerchief, I have somebody who picks it up for me. Wow. Now, no, straight and very slow. We are always running, kind of gliding. And imagine, she probably is pregnant.
Yeah. For the 11th
Okay,
time.
try carefully to turn around. Eleonora had some that were 58 centimeters long. And at that point, she has 2 servants to lean on. Painted with plants and flowers and animals. But we can't go up there because it's unsafe.